Almost 5 years ago at Apple's 2016 October event, Apple revealed their brand new redesigned MacBook Pro, which had an incredibly good-looking design that was thinner and lighter than the previous model, and to this day, it still looks incredible, even compared to some of the brand new Windows laptops out there. The only downside was that Apple replaced the large variety of ports that we used to have on the 2015 MacBook Pro with a very simple 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports which use the USB Type-C design. This basically caused an uproar from the community, with people upset about having to buy expensive dongles that weren't widely available on the market, since many computers at the time didn't even have a single USB-C port. On top of that, Apple's beloved MagSafe connector was completely scrapped on the new MacBook Pro, which also made a lot of people upset. And the SD card slot also scrapped, forcing people to buy adapters. And on top of that, they replaced the Magic Keyboard keys that everybody loved with the butterfly keyboard that everybody hated. So what ended up happening was that a lot of people decided not to upgrade to the new 2016 MacBook Pro, and they were literally buying the old 2015 models instead, even a couple of years after the redesign came. But thankfully, Apple has finally gotten rid of the butterfly keyboard with the latest MacBook Pros, showing that it was a huge mistake in the first place. So if Apple is capable of doing a full U-turn on mistakes like the butterfly keyboard, what if going with the full set of USB-C ports was also a huge mistake? And the reason I'm bringing that question up is because the latest leaks and rumors are showing that Apple is having a massive change of heart in terms of the ports, with them basically bringing back all of those old ports. According to leaks and rumors from very reliable sources like Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, the M1X MacBook Pro is gonna be coming with a MagSafe charging connector, which is a huge surprise to a lot of people. On top of that, both the HDMI port and the SD card slot are coming back as well, with the SD card slot now rumored to be featuring much faster UHS 2 speeds. And these new ports, including the MagSafe connector, have basically already been confirmed by leaked schematics that were stolen from Apple in a ransomware attack. So what all of this shows is that Apple is for sure reviving the ports and MagSafe on the new M1X MacBook Pros that are going to be coming this fall. And now that we know all of that, the important question we have to answer is why? And that's what I'm going to be answering in this video, because I personally believe that Apple has had a master plan in the works for many, many years that has finally been accomplished. So let's get into that. Now, it might seem like Apple is finally ready to admit that switching to a full set of USB-C ports was a huge mistake, but I don't think that's the case at all. I did a little digging and I found an old article from 2015 that claims that Apple actually invented the USB Type-C port, which sounds absolutely insane, but check this out. According to John Gruber, the famous Apple blogger who owns the Daring Fireball, Apple invented USB-C and then gave it away to be an open source standard. But Apple couldn't really say it was theirs because they didn't want people to see it as an Apple port, but as a standard port for every product out there. And if you want some proof to go along with that idea, Apple was in fact listed as a contributor for the new USB Type-C specification, but they didn't want to take all of the credit for it. And if you're wondering why Apple would do this, well, if it was called the Apple USB-C port, many of the stubborn companies out there wouldn't want to adapt it because it would make Apple look good. And if Apple made it an open and free standard, people would point fingers at Apple for charging royalty fees for their Lightning port, but not the USB-C port, which would cause a PR mess, so they just kept it a secret. So here's the next question that we have to answer. If Apple did truly invent USB-C, why in the world would they do this, and how would they ultimately gain anything from it? Well, we already know that Apple went all out and replaced the previous ports that everybody loved on the MacBook Pro with just 4 USB-C ports, causing a ton of controversy and many upset customers. So why would they go through years of backlash just to bring those ports back on the M1X MacBook Pro? Well, here is where the master plan comes in. The truth is that if Apple didn't make the bold move of scrapping all the old ports and literally forcing people to use USB-C on the new redesigned MacBook Pro, then USB-C would not be where it is today, with the entire computer industry basically embracing it. Less than 5 years after Apple's bold move, basically every single computer on the market now comes with at least one USB-C port. And Amazon is now flooded with every type of USB-C adapter, cable, and hub that you can imagine. And Apple was hands down the company that pushed the entire industry forward. And if you really think about it, if none of this ever happened and USB-C was still a niche connector, then Apple's brand new 24-inch iMac would not be possible, because as all of you guys know, it's so incredibly thin that USB-A ports physically can't fit into the chassis. They even had to design a special power cable with Ethernet built into the power supply, because even that can't fit into the 24-inch iMac. So Apple literally had to make USB-C go mainstream to make the 24-inch iMac as thin as they wanted it to be, which is something that sets Apple products apart from everybody else. And that's why Apple is so obsessed with thinness. Going even further, the rumored M2 MacBook Air redesign is gonna be so thin that USB-C is quite literally the only port that will fit on the side, basically hitting the limits of how thin a laptop can get. So yeah, it now makes total sense why Apple forced people to use USB-C way back in the day. And now it's finally time to answer the main question. Why would they only now revive ports and MagSafe on the M1X MacBook Pros? Well, the first reason is that Apple has succeeded in their master plan of making USB-C go mainstream, so they no longer have to force users to use it, and today their super thin lower-end Macs are totally fine with only USB-C ports. And the second main reason is the big one. Apple wants the M1X MacBook Pros to be the ultimate laptop for everyone. And to do that, Apple's gonna try to make everybody happy all at the same time to disrupt the entire industry and take over a huge portion of the laptop market share. So what they're gonna do is bring back all of the ports that everybody loved, like the SD card slot, the HDMI port, and especially the MagSafe charging connector. And then they're gonna pack in the Apple Silicon M1X chip that will outperform basically every other laptop out there in terms of real-world CPU performance. They're also gonna make a huge push into the gaming market by giving it a 32-core GPU option that will rival some of the best gaming laptops out there while being much thinner and not requiring it to be plugged in to get all of that power. And even with all of that performance, the battery life is going to be much better than any other laptop out there. They're also going to pack in a brand new mini LED display and a 1080p webcam, both of which people have been complaining about for years. And on top of all of that, it's gonna have a great looking redesign with premium build quality. It's gonna have the best speakers out there. It's gonna stay cool, it's gonna stay quiet, and it's gonna be incredibly reliable as well. So what I'm trying to say is that if Apple can fix all of those issues that people complained about to create the ultimate laptop, then they can do a huge marketing push to grab as much market share as possible, which will probably be enough to make AAA game developers take Apple seriously again, which would in turn increase Apple's laptop market share even more. And that right there is why Apple is reviving the ports and MagSafe on the M1X MacBook Pros. Now, if you totally disagree with me, then comment your thoughts down below. But if you enjoyed this video, tap like and click the circle above to subscribe for more videos like this one, and definitely check out one of those two videos right over there. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.